like E2, E3. And I'm surprised they have grown. In fact, of the meals that I've eaten here, this is perhaps the best that I've seen. It was clean, well organized, well balanced, and served with. But now I'm not seeing them here. Now they've cooked, they have gone. Where are those people from E2, E3? The gentleman only is here. Where are the ladies? Please call them, all of those ones, E2, E, whatever. They are doing a good job. Now we want to share with them a Bible study, which is the last presentation we are doing before we leave. So please call them and bring them in. And after this, I will definitely leave. So I'm waiting for those who are coming. We want to thank God for you who have come by Bible study. Do you know something? I'm waiting for Elder Gavra told me that he was a good preacher. When the time he comes and sits down, I will barely be starting. He's still working in. And I didn't see him, you know. Ameenda wapi? Alipotea? Oh, that's Ako. Please come settle. I'm waiting for you to settle down. You know, they say when you lose control in the class, there's a class control, but when you lose the control of the vehicle, you are dead. I don't want to die. I'm still waiting. Again, I want to thank God for what we have gone through today. And I want to thank the leadership of this church. You have done well. And answer me, choose which one. Do you eat the seed now, or you plant the seed now? Which one will you want to do? No seed. Mbegu. You know, some people may be eating the seed so that when the time for planting comes, there's nothing to plant. But some people may be planting the seed so that they later on they will have bumper harvest from the seed that is planted. And Bible study is planting seed, which will come into the harvest. That's why it's the most critical thing in the church. Let me repeat. Bible study is like planting the seed, because this seed has the power to germinate and to grow and to mature and to bring more. But you may choose to eat the seed, so that by the time people come for harvesting, you have nothing to harvest. You can only beg or gonya mentality. And I don't know who started this gonya mentality. It has spoiled most of us from this part of Kenya. I have two parts of the Bible study. The first one will take at most 20 minutes or less. Then the other one will take 30 minutes. The first one is a question. How many people are here during the divine service? How many people are not there? Now, if you are there, I want to ask the following question. Is there something that you heard that you did get clearly and you would have liked to make it clear? You know, sermons are not asked. You don't ask, you may just endure it. But now I'm opening it up. If there's something you didn't get well, we can get it. I'll only ask for 3 times, then I go to the next question. Anybody do something you didn't get well that you would have wished to be explained further? Now that there's nobody on that one, I go to the next one. Can you tell me something you are able to learn which you can share out when you leave this place? Is there something you're able to get, something that struck you, that you could pick and share with somebody when you go out? I will divide this class into 4. Class A is headed by our MDs, Steve. Here is the headed by Amanda. That place is Amanda. Yes, you are the leader here. Here is headed by Leonard. And this time is our first elder. Now, we are here. Anything you learned that you can share out or will touch you, that you can share with yourself this side. Yes, Steve. If you have a mic, it's okay. There's no mic, no problem. You are okay. 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 Now that is something that there's Edom. By the way, I didn't want to read that angle there. It has two dual meaning. The Edom that people know are the Edomites. That one is a stumbling block. But even that one, if you take the context, you can come from Edom, but when you are covered with red, you will still be positive. The Edomites were never positive. They even opposed the Israelites. But on this context, it's very clear. Edom means what? And Edom also means Esau. Means what? Red. Why was he named red? Because he came when he was red and he was hairy and red. And that cover of red helped many people. Thank you very much. So now you know. We go to this class. Mr. Menda, you are the one leading. You may ask the question or you can delegate and tell us what we're able to get.
What I got from the preaching today, that if you want blessings, you should be able also to give up.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So that was the other part that you're able to get. For even though he had been covered by the blood, the clothes of Esau, even though he was covered by the goat skin, he still needed to carry something for the Father to bless. And many of us church members miss out blessing because even though God has, we have covered ourselves with the blood and we are saved and other things, and we are covered with the love, love always gives. And there's more blessing in giving than in receiving. There was a time in Sony, I don't know, I'm here to check. Who is the treasurer now? Who is the treasurer? Where is he? Don't put a treasurer that is not in a Bible study. Don't defend what is not right. They have a time to could have come. Now why they doing the Bible studies when they are doing those things? Now who is assistant treasurer? Where is Moses? He's also finding out. Don't put treasury on people who are not committed to the work of God. I can assure you. Sio nimesema tu kwani nini hata nikisema. Mimi nasema tu. You see, there was a time that if there was a time in this church, there was few members, and I've seen that thing coming out, who would return an honest and exact tithe and a liberal offering, which was even more than the tithe. And we do not need to call Harambes to do other things we would use to the church budget and only budget for it. Is that thing still there? It also died with the Sony dying. And we still have those people who are faithful in whatever happens, they will return a tithe and an offering. Are they still there? But now they are not tracing, so I don't know who to ask. So watch and watch. But my prayer is people do not know. There's more blessings when people give. You know, this church is in Sony. And Sony have been going a lot of hard time. If this church becomes faithful, God will use that to raise this company. No wonder he used a member of this church when it was dead to rise it up. They brought people who did not know God and did not know giving, and the company went down. When they tried somebody, even though it was down, who knew God and knew giving, the company was came down. It's important that we learn to be good givers to God when we love. You cannot love without giving. When you love, you give. And women know this one better than I do. When they love, they give. When they don't love, they give excuse. Atuo, Yabara, Atimanate, Anmaraj, Aduong, Nitinoditie, Tinopokonindo. There are many things a woman will give. But that's not that you are not loved. My prayer is that when we love, we must do what? We must give. This class here. What did you get? This class, this side here. Leonard, you are the prefect, but you don't need to be the one speaking. You can choose anybody. Ikizindikana ndio itakuwa wewe. Something you were able to get. Also, so you are the one, eh? It's okay, Leonard.
I learned that you cannot appear before the Father naked. You have to have the garment of righteousness, because you want a blessing, you have every other thing, but when you are naked, I learned that it will not be easier for me to get the blessing of God. So I need to dress up properly.
Now, what we want to amend that one, kidogo. What we say, not naked, but dressed in the right way and right clothes for blessings. If you are not dressed in the clothes that smell blessing, you are not covered by things that when they're touched, you will be blessed. And all of us are sinners. If we are not covered with the garment of Christ, we will definitely lose it out. And can be right on his own. That's why we need Christ what? Clothes, or what we call Christ righteousness, the righteousness of Christ to cover us. Then we are safe and we can be blessed. Regardless how bad we are, regardless what is our name. You can be Jacob, but when you are immersed in Christ, you become a Christian and you are destined for blessings. The last this side. Anybody who wants to tell us anything you are able to get? You know, the prefect was already appointed. He's our first elder, Peter Okoth. Yes, Peter.
What I also learned was that as we were blending, we were ending the month of February, which is the month of love, and you also brought it with respect to Christ, bringing in Jacob, and Edom representing Esau. But in a nutshell, what we saw is that it was all talking about Christ. So the Christ blood which bled on Calvary was demonstrating the love that Christ had for us as children. That love that we saw, that motivates Christ to die for us, then as Christians, that is what also we need to have as Christians. That when we have that love of Christ, then in as stewardship, then it will help us even be good stewards.
Wow. By the way, I hope you got that one. I'm seeing a young gentleman raising the hand. Can you give that young, I want to hear. There's a young person there at the back. You know, you must go to hear the people you may think they are young, but they can surprise you.
Where I learned that lying is not good.
Life is?
Lying is not good.
Oh, lying is not good. Thank you very much. So when you lie, you may not be good. But let me tell you something here. You can be a liar, but if you are covered with your lies covered by the blood of Christ, you will find liars going to heaven. If you allow yourself to be covered. But what Peter was telling us, and let me say this one also, and I'm glad you got that blend. We are in the month of love. Who knows love more than Christians? God is love. So don't be so cold that way you don't do anything. Now my wife is not there, could you say. Even that was afar, when the time for love was there, I sneaked through with my daughter, bought some few things, sneaked in her bedroom, put them in the red thing to let her know that she's loved. Who know love better than those who know God? So if you have not done anything to your spouse during this month of love, do something. Buy even a bar of chocolate. Na mpeane tu. Bwana MD umesikia? Kama hujafanyia kitu Marlene, fanyia kitu tu. Take her out kidogo tu, eh? Yes, mwende mkule hewa kidogo. It's not bad to share affection with your families. It's not bad. I can assure you, for those who have your spouses. Yes. Umesikia sasa hata wewe pia. Yeah, do something. So let not the month of love pass when you are so cold because you are under the year at the time. God is love. Who came red first? That's what I read there. Who came in this world first red? It's Christ. So don't let those who don't know even Christ parade as if they know Christ. By the way, that's why even on Christmas, our stand is very clear, Adventist. While we know Christ was born 25th, but on that day you don't ignore it. Even your meals you don't ignore, so that your children goes eating for the neighbors because we umeweka nyayo ya Christ for that day. That is not our way of doing things. Mmesikia lakini? Thank you for bringing out that thing. Otherwise, my prayer is that this month of love, listen to my prayers, we will show love to one another, show love to God, and become those who are responsible. Sonny used to be the one leading because in the blessings of God. I hope, even this time when there will be report given, our report will be the best because we love Christ more. Hallelujah. Umesikia lakini? Aye, that ends. Now I want to go to the second part and the last part. I've been talking about two things. I want to mention them briefly. I want us to learn from Professor Ant some principles that are critical, and also from octopus. Those two creatures have a lot of lessons for us to learn. Go to the Bible, Proverbs chapter 6. Proverbs chapter 6. Give Elder Legawa a microphone. He used to be my translator, so he'll continue doing something for me. When I was in this church, when we were translating before we kicked out Luo out of this church, he was translating for me. Proverbs chapter 6. Open your Bible, those who have them. Are you there? That's why I wanted the young people. This is critical. I want it to be planted early. I want to get Proverbs chapter 6, verse 6 up to verse 10.
So can I continue?
I'm giving you the floor. Start from verse 6, read from up to verse 11.
Go to the ant,
Go to the ant, and there's a comma, but we'll come in. You just continue reading.
you sluggard,
You sluggard.
consider her ways
Yes.
and be wise,
Mm-hmm.
which have no captain, overseer, or ruler,
Continue.
Pro-
Provides.
provides her supplies in the summer, and gathers her food in the harvest. How long will you slumber, O sluggard? When will you rise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber,
A little folding of the hands.
a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall your poverty come on you like a prowler, and your need like an armed man.
Now, how I wish I had more time. The writer refers all to us Professor Ant. You know, other professors, you may need to pay school fees to be there, other things. But this is a professor that you don't need to pay something, but you need to go to that professor. This is the teacher you need to go to learn some basic things in life. And I want to bring these basic principles that we can learn from Professor who? Ant. If you get it, you'll never go wrong. Poverty at the end will never come to your door. Whatever kind of poverty that we talk about. So what are the principles that you need to learn from Professor Ant? Number one, you must consider her ways and be wise. If you want to be wise, you consider her ways. How is the ants behaving? When you consider those ways, you will then act wisely. For God wants those who are wise. Like the sons of who? Issachar. You know, every time that word is mentioned, good things. If I hold my hands there, you will tell you something. Can you go? Who knows that text? The sons of Issachar. In the book of Psalm, in First Chronicles, who knows that one? You know that? Yes, which book? No, but tell me the book. First, not Kings, no. Chronicles, yes, chapter 12 verse. Good. Can that be read? First Chronicles chapter 12 verse 32. I want you to know the sons of Issachar. They are mentioned twice. And each time the wise, they are being said that they are wise. And we want to be wise. When you go to the ants, you can be wise like the sons of Issachar. Somebody raised their hand down behind there, but they are not reading. Nobody's reading. Yes. Yes, Leonard. And of the children of Issachar, they have understanding of the times. They know how to read the weather. That's critical. Those who understand the times. And yes. Just live there. They not understand the time. They also knows what to be done. Do you have your translation, Elder Governor? Clear word. You left it. Is there anybody with a clear word in this place here? Clear word is Adventist translation of the Bible, written by Blanco, one of our finest scholars that we have around. Now, what the writer is bringing to us this way, the sons of Issachar knows the times. When you come to the ants, they know the times, and we'll see those times that they know. And not only knowing the time, how to act in that time. You didn't get me. The ants knows the times. The sons of Issachar know the time. But not only knowing the time, knowing what you need to do at that time. So let's go to the ants. Let's go where we are. So what is it that the first thing that they know? Number one, they have no captain, overseer, or ruler. You know, there's some of us who must do things when there's somebody telling them, do this one, do that one, do this one, do the other way around. The people of Israel were like this one. When there was a good leader, things goes on well. When a bad leader comes in, things goes wrong. So they were depending on the leaders to lead them even the wrong ways. And most of us, if you are not careful, you need to go for Pastor Ant. We don't need to depend on leadership to do things. We have an overall leader, Christ himself, but we can work. Though leadership is important, because like the leadership guru says, everything rises or falls with leadership. Leadership is critical. That's why when you choose an elder, choose a good elder. When you choose a husband, those who are not married, choose a good one. Because either you lead that home to hell or to heaven. Did you hear what I've just said? When you have a good husband, ladies who are here, whether you're still young, you know you will be led to, because the husbands are the head of the families, representing Christ, the head of the whole things. And in the head is where we have the central nervous system, the brain, that gives direction to the body. So they are telling us here, when you go to the ants, they don't have rulers, but they know how to behave when there are no rulers. They know how to act when there are no rulers. If you're a wife and your husband dies, do you know how to believe and live when your wife's not there? If you are children and you're a student and you go to university, now you live there, no parents, do you still know how to behave? Go to the ants to learn it. Must there be a nyapara? You know, there's some of us who, without anybody, they don't do anything. They want to be moved like a wheelbarrow, so that every place, if there's nobody moving them, they don't move. And the only exercise they know to do is the exercise of a frog, jumping to conclusion. But the sons of Issachar and the ants know that their performance or work do not depend on who is leading them. They know that they are what we call the self-drive to do what they must do, regardless whether there's a leader or there's no leader. But there's some of us here, when there must be something to lead them, and whether lead them the wrong way, they still go. The ants, the sons of Issachar, knows the time. But one of the symbols that we need to know how is that you must not depend on a leader. You can have self-drive and self-discipline. Students who are here, I want to talk to you. You don't need a mwalimu na kiboko. You don't need to be waken up. Wake up, it's time for God. No, you must know when to wake up, when to do this sort. Everything has got its own time. A time for everything. You don't need to be, BGM, come and eat, do this one, go this one. There are some people that you must every time tell them, go this one, do this one, stand up, sit down. The ants know that they must do their work, and they are not delegating to anybody. They do it without a leader telling them to do it. You don't need stewardship week or prayer to be able to return your tithe and offering. You don't need a pastor to come to let you know. You must have what we call self-drive. Learn that one from the ants. Let me tell you another thing here from them. Provide her supplies in the summer. Do you know what that means? Now, that means that there's what we call season. There's summer. Let's count in the northern hemisphere how there are 4 seasons. We have summer, winter, autumn, and spring. And they're very different. The trees there, leave alone human beings. During summer, when it is hot, what do they do with the leaves? They shed those leaves. And when it comes to the cold season, autumn, they continue shedding them. When it comes winter, they don't have leaves. When it comes spring, the leaves spring out and they have the leaves again. So, you must know that there are seasons in this world. There are times when there's summertime, when the weather is good, and there's winter time, when the weather is very harsh. But since they know those times, what do? They use the summertime to build their food storage. So during summer, they do 2 things. They store and eat a little. They don't eat everything. Ujanipata. Let me come what I'm coming in. You know, the ants know that during winter you cannot go look for food. Yet they need to eat. So what do? During summer, when things are good, they look for food and store. They don't eat everything. Now, what is your summer? It's like a student. When you're still in school, do you spend your time playing around and doing this and in TikTok and in Instagram and in what and X? You will not eat those things. So you will study, use that opportunity well. Hiyo vitu uleka hapo kwa nani hapo, hiyo vitu hizi. Hizi ileweko for what? So Bible study is not done here. Hey. Okay, let me do it here now. I'm saying you like this one. Your winter for a young boy or children who are still young. You use that time to study well, to show yourself approved. If you are working, you still have the opportunity to work. That is the time you work and keep. Akiba Iosi. You know, most of us, like the tribe I've come from, the Luo, when they have money, they spend it everything, and when the work comes to a close, they have nothing. There's a time here, people in Sony used to even have 13 salary. They would eat it all. Now there's a time when there was even no salary. How are they living? Huh? There is winter and there's what? Use summertime to build your base, to build your savings, so that you can use the savings in the time when things are bad. Nobody's getting me from the ant the summer. Even a wife, when you still have a husband and the husband still have a wife, how do you handle each other? Is there something you're putting in the bank, love bank, which you can withdraw later on? Like men. Let me talk to the men who are about to retire. Where are the men who are about to retire here? Where are they now? Those who are 60 upper plus, raise your hand so that I talk to you also. You are here. Yes, there are few here. Let me tell you, 50s, hata na wewe wanse, na unataka hata wewe kwenye hapo. Now, Steve, now is the time to save. And there's a Luo word that is no equivalent in English, it's called mondo. In mondo ni more. Mondo, that means something that you keep. You know, women are good, but they're also ninja. They're very dangerous. Women are good, but also very dangerous species. I can assure you. When you are still strong doing these things, they're okay. When you retire and you come home, the children wamechukua. Na wewe uko hapo na you have nothing. Ndio utajua mambo yanaweza kuwa mbaya. You will know ni mbaya, ni kubaya. Itaumana. So keep something. Kidogo. When you retire, you can go something. That's why there are some assets that we call them long but slow term. Long but long term. Slow income. Like when you have, hata kama ni nyumba mbili umejenga tu, where you can collect at least 15 or 10 rent. You know that will still there. So, hiyo usiweke kwa jina ya mama ama ya watoto, weka kwa jina yako. Hiyo nimesema. So, At the month end unapata kitu kidogo wewe kama mzee uko naye. But if you don't have anything, atuliweka kwa mama na watoto, utajuta. Nimesema hiyo ni ukweli. All women look so good when you are still active and nothing. Wacha ko don't threaten the legawa. When you retire, women change, I can assure you. Sano tungi koroti, ori ini wa ikitungi na. Imoko chima kana no. So summertime is when you still have strength. So work, keep kidogo. And I hope you have not retired so that when you want to build your home when you are retired. Build the home when you are still, those who are still active. Let me see those who are still working here. Mjenge nyumba nyumbani. Ukitolewa hapa ukue na mali ya kuenda. There's a time people are ashamed here. Some people removed here, I don't want to name them. Hata watu wakubwa wako na nyumba, ABC gate na gari, lakini wakitoka nyumbani hakuna kitu. Bure kabisa. Ufio. So if you are still working here, this is the time to build your what? Yes, so that hata hiyo weka nini yako, this is solar. Weka hata solar kama nini, weka solar yako huko. Chimba maji yako huko. Ukiambia enda nyumbani, uko na nyumbani ya kuenda. Daka od jaluo, daka od rental, nyakiri taya. Hey! So ni umejihudi. Let me go to the pulpit. Some people don't like what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is this one. Listen to me. Summertime is when you do activities that you can do. If you are a student, study. If you are a man, you are working, build your home and have some savings. Because when it comes winter, when you are now old, when your bones cannot allow you to walk, other things cannot happen. Now you can go to what you have saved to carry you throughout your time. My friends, the ants, I'm just checking the time. The ants are wise because they know the times. Even in traveling. Ukipanda mlima, what do you know is following after mlima? Mteremuko. Na ukiteremuka, what do you know? You know there will be a what?